NBC2 about his big decision.
NBC2 Sports Director Brian Colleran caught up with Andy Enfield today. He is live first at 4 from campus with Enfield's response. And Brian, he told you he's sad.
Lindsay and Heather, he is sad about leaving, but very happy about his new job. By this time tomorrow afternoon, Andy Enfield will be in Southern California and introduced as the new head basketball coach at USC. FGCU held a press conference this afternoon inside Alico Arena. It's where Ken Cavanaugh, the athletics director, and Dr. Wilson Bradshaw addressed the media, acknowledged that Enfield was leaving, and then it was Enfield who returned to the arena, spoke to us for about 5 to 10 minutes. After a short statement, I asked him point blank what was the biggest factor in leaving FGCU for USC.
Well, USC is a private school in Los Angeles, one of the premier academic institutions in the country. That was big for me. Pat Hayden's the athletic director. He's went to USC. It's a family environment, and the opportunity to build something over the next 5, 6, 10 years is something that I want to take on. I did not meet with anyone until after our season was over. I was very focused on our team and what we were doing in the NCAA tournament. I thought we could go to the Final Four. We came up a little bit short, and then after that, we started fielding calls and my representative. So it's been a very busy few days for me the last couple of days, but at the end, I'm extremely excited to go to USC.
It's been a busy couple of weeks for Andy Enfield, into the national spotlight and now headed to the Pac-12 conference. That school giving Enfield a 6-year contract for a reported salary of well over $1 million. Now, as far as FGCU is concerned, athletic director Ken Cavanaugh needs a man in charge of the basketball program right now. He has elevated top assistant Marty Richter to interim head coach. Cavanaugh also said that Richter will get the opportunity to interview for the head coaching job. Now, coming up tonight at 5, you will hear from Enfield's former players, very emotional as they spoke to us after the press conference today. They still really haven't gotten over the decision by Enfield to leave for USC. Some of these guys are still in a bit of shock. We're live on the FGCU campus right now, live. Brian Colleran, NBC2. Back to you guys in the studio.
I think we're all feeling that same shock, Brian. Thank you.
Trading is done for the day right now. Stocks rising on strong auto sales and factory orders, record highs today following those strong reports. The Dow up more than 90 points in afternoon trading. The numbers still settling here on Wall Street, but the Dow up around 89 points today. Also, S&P 500 up 8 points, the Nasdaq up 15. That is a live look at your big board.
Breaking news first at 4, an update on the allegations against Lee County's school superintendent. Today, the Lee County School Board decided to ask the Office of the Inspector General for the Florida Department of Education, or DOE, to investigate Dr. Burke. Now, the board was notified about possible misconduct last month, and today again voting with the Inspector General on that recommendation to get an outside investigation. NBC2's Kim Brown joins us from district headquarters with the developments. Kim.
Well, that decision was whether or not to vote to go forward with an outside investigation into Superintendent Dr. Joseph Burke, and that's all regarding 2 of 3 allegations that were sent to the Florida Department of Education. And now the vote today, not unanimous, as they decided not to go forward with that investigation. What they did decide, however, was to have the Office of the Inspector General end up doing that investigation. Now, those allegations are, first, that Dr. Burke suspended an active Lee County Office of Professional Standards investigation involving a top administrator. And then also, secondly, that Dr. Burke spent more than $290,000 grant dollars on administrators instead of the classroom. Some board members say having the IG do the investigation will be better since they have experience in this and it won't cost the district anything, while others, like Jeannie Dozier, say this decision is a concern.
That's one of the reasons I voted the way I did today, because the IG can go to the governor and say, you know, there's neglect going on in this board, and, you know, if he sees fit, he can say, you know, let's remove him.
Now, board members tell me that if they were to have done an outside investigation by an independent party, that would have cost the district $5,000 to $10,000 taxpayer money. But now with having the Inspector General do it, it will not cost them anything. Live at district headquarters, Kim Brown, NBC2.
Breaking right now, first at 4, authorities in West Virginia say a star of the MTV reality show Buck Wild and 2 other people died of carbon monoxide poisoning. Shane Gandy, his uncle, and another person were found dead Monday in his truck. It was stuck in a mud hole and the tailpipe submerged. Shooting for the 2nd season of the show, set around Sissonville and Charleston, has been suspended.
Brand new developments in the 20,000-acre brush fire that shut down I-75 for part of the past 2 days. We've learned that fire near State Road 29 and Alligator Alley is now 45% contained. Now, investigators still don't know the cause of this fire that's causing a lot of trouble for commuters. Foggy conditions, though, and smoke from the fire forced FHP to shut down the alley for a second warning today for hours. Now the road is back open right now, but it could close again if conditions worsen.
First of all, another dead manatee was found in Lee County just as we are seeing record number of deaths from red tide. This is video we shot of the dead manatee in the Orange River in East Lee County. So far, more than 400 have died across Florida. Nearly half of all deaths were in Lee County.
In Collier County, commissioners figure out priorities after 3 tropical storms battered beaches last year. Debbie, Isaac, and Sandy all brought high winds and rough waters to southwest Florida coast, eroding the coastline. NBC2's Rick Ritter stepped out of that workshop for us, joins us live on Naples Beach, one of the hardest hit areas. Rick?
Heather, county commissioners are looking at a $15 to $20 million beach renourishment project, one that'll last up to 6 years and could start right after the summer season. Severely eroded and getting smaller year after year. Tonight, help could be on the way for Collier County's more popular beaches. Last year, tropical storms Debbie and Isaac damaged Vanderbilt, Park Shore, and Naples beaches. It forced county commissioners to issue a $675,000 emergency renourishment project last November, a temporary fix that's only expected to last a year. County commissioners held a workshop on Tuesday to come up with a new resolution, a long-term solution for the beaches, one they could bring back to County Commission later this month for approval. The county's last major beach renourishment project was back in 2005, and officials say it's long overdue.
The county should have already started pulling permits in about 2010 to put replacement sand on the beach 2012. We're in 2013, and that still hasn't occurred.
Coming up at 5:30, we'll tell you why the long-term beach renourishment project was delayed and how that should have been ironed out months ago. We're live in Collier County. Rick Ritter, NBC2.
Rick, thank you. Well, first at 4, 2 local islands are being called the best of the best. Marco Island and Sanibel are among TripAdvisor's top 10 islands for 2013. Look at that, ranking up there with islands in Hawaii. The website says Marco's white beaches, along with its close access to the Everglades, makes it a draw. The travel site also says Sanibel's mix of family fun and relaxation earns it a spot on the site.
First of 4, Naples man is in critical condition after he was in a car crash. Florida Highway Patrol says it happened early this morning near Logan Road North and Cove Circle in Collier County. Troopers say the man lost control of his Jeep. It rolled over several times.
Well, we've seen handicap parking, even special parking for expectant moms, and now Wounded Warriors are about to get their own top spot.
First at 4, we're going to show you which Southwest Florida community is one of only 2 locations giving our veterans a big thank you.
And breaking news for the first time, NBC2 is taking you inside that Tampa area home where a man was swallowed by a sinkhole. Keep it right here for amazing images.
Well, after all the fog lifted away this morning, it ended up being a very nice Tuesday across Southwest Florida, although very warm. Temperatures shooting all the way up to the upper 80s. We have 87 Lehigh Acres, 87 in LaBelle, and temperatures getting even warmer tomorrow. Also, I'm tracking a chance for showers, even some thunderstorms. That's coming up daily.
Charlotte County is honoring Wounded Warriors by giving them a front row parking spot at county buildings. Today, the county started installing these signs, which reserve parking spaces for our Wounded Warriors. Charlotte County, the first municipality in Florida to install the signs. Now, deputies won't enforce the rule. It is an honor system. Officials hope to have 40 signs up by Memorial Day at government buildings and county parks.
What we also want to do is to honor you and say, hey, come here. Come visit us, come do your taxes, come do your, renew your driver's license, and we're going to give you a place closer to park. And it's a place of honor for our veterans.
The signs will cost $1,700. 6 of the county's 7 sign technicians are veterans, and they have volunteered to install the signs on their own time.
Boom goes the ATM. Yeah, must-see video. First at 4 as a money machine bursts into flames, and police say this was no accident.
First Alert Weather Now is sponsored by Royal Shell Real Estate. Focus on justice since 1971. Now, count on NBC2 First Alert meteorologist Jason Dunning's forecast. The most accurate forecast in Southwest Florida.
Well, the warmth continues to build across Southwest Florida on this Tuesday afternoon. Temperatures actually a couple degrees warmer compared to what we saw yesterday, and a lot of sites topping out in the middle to upper 80s. Let's take a look around Southwest Florida on some of the weather stations here. Looking at upper 80s here, a little bit farther inland around Palmdale, up to 87 degrees. We have 84 Fort Myers, and temperatures just a touch cooler as you look closer to the waters there, closer to the beaches, right there around 80 in Sanibel, and also around Fort Myers Beach. We started out with widespread fog after this morning. Visibilities area-wide getting less than a quarter of a mile, so really difficult to see out there early this morning, but the fog eventually lifted away and sunshine took over. Now just looking at a few patchy clouds here as we look at the high-resolution satellite. The radar also looking fairly quiet. We could see maybe 1 or 2 little isolated specks of rain develop, but that will likely be over the interior. So as we head through this evening and tonight, it looks very pleasant out there. We're going to have winds out of the east and northeast between 5-10 miles per hour. Temperatures cooling off to around 74 by 8 o'clock. And then dipping down to the lower 70s as we head through the 10 o'clock hour. Now, the fog threat not looking as widespread or thick compared to what we saw this morning, but still, we'll see the possibility for some patchy fog during the pre-dawn hours on Wednesday, so keep that in mind. Otherwise, we'll see quiet skies and temperatures cooling off to around 65 degrees for those overnight lows by early Wednesday. So here we are, starting off 7 o'clock Wednesday morning, our forecast temperature model showing middle 60s here from Port Charlotte down through Naples. And as we head closer to the midday hours, we'll see temperatures warming up to the lower 80s. And actually, let's go back here. We'll run through this model one more time. We'll take you through around 12 o'clock. We're looking at around 83 Port Charlotte, 85 in Naples, 86 in Everglades City. And watch this as we advance deeper into the afternoon tomorrow. It looks like tomorrow afternoon will be the warmest day of the week, even some spots getting close to 90. Look at Everglades City, all the way up to around 89 degrees. We have 88 Naples, 87 around Fort Myers. So the warmth continues to build even as we head through tomorrow. Starting out early Wednesday morning on the forecast mode, again, watching for the possibility of some patchy fog. But the fog that develops lifts away by the mid-morning hours. We'll see a nice supply of sunshine. There's some patchy clouds mixing in through the afternoon. Also, we'll be watching for the possibility of a few isolated inland showers as we head through the afternoon and evening hours. But those will be, again, pretty spotty, pretty isolated. Overall, rain chance tomorrow only around 20% or so. So again, see the possibility of isolated inland showers. We head through the tomorrow afternoon. Also, a balmy breeze developing out of the southeast. Could see wind gusts getting up to around 20. So keep that in mind. Winds ramping up even more as we head through the day on Thursday. Speaking of Thursday, that'll be the day we'll be watching back off to the west for our next approaching weather system that's going to be organizing over the Gulf of Mexico, and a line of showers and thunderstorms will start pushing into Southwest Florida. It looks like late Thursday into the first part of Friday, and some of these storms could also pack a punch, and it looks like from looking at the latest forecast models, we could see close to an inch of rain, which would be very beneficial for the dry grounds, considering this is typically the driest time of the year. So there you see it. Winds ramp up on Thursday. Friday, some showers and thunderstorms move in, and then it's looking like a sensational weekend across Southwest Florida.
Well, the S&P 500 now just a few points away from hitting the all-time high set back in October 2007. Nick Klemski from Wells Fargo is joining us here momentarily, and Nick is talking about what is pushing the markets higher and what you're telling people, your Wells Fargo advisors are saying about how the year is going to end for stocks.
Well, I'll tell you, the performance of the markets has been impressive this year, with the broad markets already up 10% in just the first quarter. And that's following the impressive 2012 run-up in stocks seen last year when the S&P returned 14.5%. And there are several factors helping to push markets higher right now, but it really boils down to one thing: increasing optimism. And the U.S. economy is doing better this year than many investors thought it would last year, when concerns about the election and end-of-year fiscal cliff issues dampened expectations. The United States still has its problems, but other countries have more severe problems. Europe is still in recession, and struggling with its own debt crisis. And Asia and Latin American countries are also suffering from slow growth, which is hurting many of the emerging market countries. Now, one encouraging sign of optimism in the U.S. economy is the strength of the U.S. dollar. The gains in the dollar during the first quarter suggest that global investors see more opportunities in the U.S. markets than in foreign markets. And as a result, the U.S. stock market rose to a new record high by the last trading day of the first quarter. Now, on the economic front, the housing market continues to recover and manufacturing has strengthened. Consumer spending is also holding up well despite the increase in payroll taxes for most workers at the start of this year. But perhaps the best news during the first quarter was the last-minute deal on January 1st to avoid the fiscal cliff. Although taxes increased modestly as part of the agreement, federal spending is now restrained as a result of spending cuts that started on March 1st. And as a result, now the federal deficit is declining, which is good for the U.S. economy in the long term. Now, finally, with the global economy struggling, the U.S. stock market is outperforming commodity markets, meaning that investors see economic growth opportunities exceeding inflationary pressures. And historically, these conditions have coincided with increasing investor optimism, leading to higher stock prices. And in fact, our chief equity strategist just increased the year-end target range for the S&P 500 index to 1575 to 1625 from previous range of 1525 to 1575. And although there is no guarantee that we will fall within this range, it looks like continued investor optimism will continue to push markets higher through the end of the year.
All right, Nick, thank you. If you have any questions for the Wells Fargo advisors, you can call them or visit them. The phone number and address of their Fort Myers branch is there on your screen.
Rolling off the showroom floor and rolling in the dollars. First at 4, NBC2 examines whether the recent boom in new car sales is really a sign of economic recovery.
Sponsored by Nolte Wealth Management Group of Wells Fargo Advisors, helping
responsibility. Think Kushner and Kushner.
First at 4, the big three automakers announced very strong sales. In fact, some are reporting the highest sales in 5 years. NBC's Chris Clackham investigates whether this is really a scale to measure the health of our economy.
Who wants to drive first?
Thanks in part to low interest rates and an improving economy, new car and truck sales hit their highest level in almost 6 years last month. Nearly 1.5 million vehicles sold, so much better than expected so far this year. The analyst at Edmunds.com added another 500,000 cars and trucks to this year's projection.
Consumers are feeling a lot more confident. Their stock portfolios are fatter. Their housing value has reversed direction and is going up.
March was the best month automaker Nissan has had ever. Chrysler's U.S. sales rose 5%, selling more cars and trucks than in any month since December of 2007. Pretty much the same story at Ford, where sales grew 6%, while at GM, sales were up 6.4%.
Housing, jobs, consumer credit, stock market performance is all leading to some good business.
Bankrate.com says the average rate for a 60-month new car loan fell to 4.1% from 4.5% at this time last year. While Phil LeBeau, who covers the auto industry for CNBC, says a lot of the demand is driven by need.
A lot of people are driving vehicles that are 10, 11, 12 years old. They need a new car or truck, and at this point, this is the right time to go in and buy one.
Tax refunds may also be helping. The average federal tax refund this year is nearly $3,000, plenty to cover a down payment on a new car. Chris Clackham, NBC News.
Well, he says they block visibility on his Fort Myers business. Now, after a year-long fight, the owner of the Bella Villa Shops has won approval to get rid of 20 trees from in front of the plaza. The trees are in a Lee County right-of-way along Daniels Parkway, and they make it difficult for drivers to see the stores. Shop owners say it hurts business, and they are relieved that the county commission approved removing the trees.
It's difficult because it prevents people from finding our location. It's prevented us from putting a sign up on the back of the building. And it's just a little too camouflage.
Plaza Zona will pay to remove the trees and will replace them with 80 trees along another section of the roadway. He'll also cover maintenance of the new trees for 1 year.
I'm on that road every day and I think, wow, those trees are pretty, but I have no idea what's behind them. Those businesses should be interesting. Well, putting guns inside schools to cut down on violence.
That's what the NRA believes will keep our children safe. First at 4, we break down the plan and find out what our local educators think about arming school employees. Plus,
he's trying to rob me. He's trying to rob me. He has a gun. All right, ma'am, drive. Ma'am, drive. He has a gun.
A Florida woman comes face to face with a would-be carjacker until a 911 dispatcher gives her some surprising advice.
Have you ever wondered, is a live look at radar the same as a look at live radar? Well, no. There's only one live radar in Southwest Florida. Other stations offer you a live look. But remember, while the look may be live, the radar is, well, not. NBC2 First Alert Live Radar. Southwest Florida.
Moments changing lives.
Breaking news first at 4 and an update here. The Louisville basketball player who severely broke his leg in that horrifying injury leaves the hospital today. We actually have a photo that was tweeted by Kevin Ware as he walked out on crutches from an Indianapolis hospital. Many of us remember he broke his leg Sunday during the first half of Louisville's 85-63 win over Duke. He underwent surgery to repair compound fractures of his tibia. He's expected to be out a year. Now, Louisville coach Rick Pitino says that Ware would travel with the team to Atlanta, but he's unsure if he'll be cleared to fly. Good to see he's doing better. And this is really amazing. Other breaking news, getting our first look here at that sinkhole. Inside that sinkhole that swallowed a Tampa area homeowner, killing a man inside. You remember when we reported on this, we always saw the house over the hole, but this is inside that hole to nowhere, really. The Hillsborough County Sheriff released the video of a camera going into the home where the hole opened up underneath the floor back in February. Just looks like a bedroom with a massive hole in the floor. A 37-year-old man was swallowed, buried alive. Jeff Bush's body was never recovered. The home has since been demolished.
The National Rifle Association is unveiling its ideas to help reduce gun violence in schools. All this as lawmakers in several states are passing some of the toughest gun laws to date. But as Danielle Lee uncovers, the NRA wants to put more guns into the hands of school employees.
The National Rifle Association's School Shield program is calling for heightened security at schools to prevent another Newtown tragedy.
And that's the focus of these recommendations, to give the schools more tools that they can respond quickly.
The task force is recommending arming officers and school personnel at every school, increasing funding for school security, and improving threat assessment and mental health training for staff. Mark Mattioli lost his 6-year-old son in the Newtown killings.
This is recommendations for solutions, real solutions that will make our kids safer.
Education advocates say more guns on campus is not the answer.
What I worry is that this distraction, this wrong focus, will take us away from things that could be done right now.
Congress has nearly abandoned hopes for bans on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. It's struggling to find consensus even on universal background checks, a measure supported by most Americans.
It's essential that to the memory of the victims of Newtown, that all of these measures get a vote.
Today, Representative Elijah Cummings worried Congress may miss its opportunity.
And if we do not act in those moments, then things will likely only get worse.
35 states are working to nullify any federal gun restrictions that do get passed. In Nelson, Georgia, council members passed an ordinance requiring gun ownership. But tomorrow in Connecticut, home to the Newtown shooting, lawmakers are expected to pass some of the toughest gun laws in the nation.
Tomorrow, President Obama will also continue to pressure Congress for new gun laws with a trip to Colorado. The state recently mandated universal background checks and limits to ammunition clips. In Washington, I'm Danielle Lee, NBC News.
So what do parents think of the NRA's proposals as the conversation on how to keep kids safe continues? We spoke with one father who says he supports the idea of arming school personnel.
I'm more comfortable with teachers and principals carrying guns than bad guys going into schools without anyone else carrying guns.
Some school representatives from Charlotte and Lee counties tell us the issue is complicated and they do not support proposals to arm teachers or staff.
A new image of Adam Lanza is released today. He's the man who killed 26 people, mostly children, inside Sandy Hook Elementary School. This is a photo from Lanza's student ID at Western Connecticut State University. Documents from the school show he attended classes there in 2009. Lanza brought 10 30-round capacity magazines for a semi-automatic assault rifle into Sandy Hook Elementary School on December 14th. After the massacre, Lanza shot and killed himself.
Brand new First at 4, the man who shot and killed the head of Colorado prisons was not even supposed to be out of prison. And now we've learned he slipped off his GPS ankle monitor, stopped working 5 days before the shooting. A district court is now apologizing for the clerical error that resulted in the release of Evan Ebel 4 years too soon. Authorities have tied him to the March 19th murder of prison chief Tom Clements at his home and the killing 2 days earlier of Denver pizza delivery driver Nathan Leon.
I am confident that they will fix the problem going forward and that it won't happen again. And I think it's probably worth the effort to go back and make sure that we don't have any other cases out there where this problem has occurred before.
Ebel died following a police chase in Texas where a gun in the car was linked to Clements' murder.
More drama is erupting now between North Korea and America and our allies. The communist regime has announced it will restart a nuclear plant that was closed in 2007. NBC's Steve Handelsman goes in depth now. First at 4.
Very honored to be. He met with an Asian Prime Minister Lee of Singapore, but President Obama passed on a chance to join the war of words with North Korea. Thank you very much, everybody. The government of Kim Jong-un, who's been threatening the U.S., had vowed this morning to fire up the nuclear plant North Korea mothballed in 2007.
The suggestion that they would restart this 5-megawatt graphite reactor, which is really predominantly dedicated to the production of nuclear weapons-grade plutonium, is deeply concerning.
The concern is not immediate. The North Koreans blew up the cooling tower to prove to the U.S. the plant was closing. Kim claims his goal now is to deter any outside attack. The White House is not buying.
We seek the complete, verifiable, and irreversible denuclearization through authentic and credible negotiations.
The escalations concern a prominent South Korean, UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon.
The current crisis has already gone too far. Nuclear threats are not a game.
But despite the preparations for war, there's not much fear of the North in prosperous South Korea.
I really don't think people are thinking that they're gonna come and actually attack us because, you know, America has our back.
2 U.S. destroyers are in the region and U.S. air powers at the ready, while the U.S. Commander-in-Chief avoids verbal provocations of his own.
But the entire Obama National Security Team is now said to be focused on North Korea. I'm Steve Handelsman, NBC News, Washington.
Caught on camera, take a look at this. Thieves blew up an ATM machine in the UK, swiped the cash and took off. Police say the raid on the ATM was similar to others that have been carried out recently in Europe.
A Central Florida woman lucky to escape with her life when she came face to face with an armed man who wanted her car. First at 4, new frantic 911 calls are released from the victim. Take a listen here.
He's trying to rob me. He's trying to rob me. He has a gun. All right, ma'am, drive. Ma'am, drive. He has a gun. Drive, ma'am.
The victim claimed the suspect spotted her alone in her car as she drove from a friend's party in Orlando back to Deltona. He followed her for almost 1.5 miles with his high beams on, but turned them off when she pulled into her neighborhood, and that's when he came at her with a gun.
And I'm very happy that he did not shoot that gun because I probably would not be here talking to you right now. I'd be dead.
The victim drove away, and like the dispatcher told her, investigators still looking for that suspect.
Well, here's something to think about. One airline says it's keeping airfares fair by charging passengers only for what they weigh. The more they weigh, the higher the ticket price, and vice versa. Samoa Air requires passengers to enter their information when booking online, including their weight and baggage weight, and the fare is calculated accordingly. Cell phone users rely on Bluetooth technology. For one, it helps keep people hands-free behind the wheel, but that convenience is allowing criminals to hack into your phone. Federal government says scammers use specialized software to intercept your Bluetooth signal and hack into your device. It's called blue bugging, and it gives thieves access to all of your texts, your contacts, your photos, everything on your phone. Some tips to make sure this doesn't happen to you: if you make a call from your car, switch the Bluetooth off when you get out. Download and install regular updates, and when you're not using your Bluetooth, switch it to not discoverable.
Well, the Southeast seems to be the worst place to live with people with allergies. The Asthma and Allergy Foundation releasing its annual list of the worst places for spring allergy sufferers. These so-called allergy capitals are ranked based on pollen levels, use of allergy medication, and the number of board-certified allergists in the area. Jackson, Mississippi came in as the worst, followed by Knoxville and Chattanooga, Tennessee. Most of the top 10 cities were in the South, but no cities in Florida made the list. You could call it the rise of superfoods. Nowadays, we're bombarded with claims that the food we eat can cure our ills. Well, it turns out there may be a medical basis to some of it. In today's Health Matters, Amy Osher separates superfood fact from fiction.
It's almost a cliche to call something super. In our supersized vocabulary, the word is used to make almost anything better. But when it comes to food, is there any teeth to it?
I don't think there's any sort of end-all be-all miracle food, but I think that, eating healthy is important.
Well, I didn't know what a superfood was, but I buy them. I buy avocados, I buy berries, I buy fruits and vegetables.
What separates a superfood from a food that's just good for you?
What really separates these out as superfoods, there have been studies that have been done looking at various health benefits. In terms of reduction in cardiovascular disease, reduction of inflammatory diseases like arthritis.
A superstar of the superfood category is omega-3, found in fatty fish.
The fish oils are felt to have an anti-inflammatory benefit. They help to dilate the blood vessels and lower the blood pressure. They also favorably influence the cholesterol profile. And some even propose that these omega-3 fish oils help to stabilize the heart rhythm.
Superfoods are often grouped by health benefits. Green superfoods have easily digestible nutrients. Fruit and nuts are high in antioxidants. Blueberries are considered anti-inflammatories, and soy lowers cholesterol. A lot of claims, and nowadays there's also a lot of hype.
Some things become a little bit gimmicky, and when you start hearing about things too much, I think there's a financial reason for that.
One ingredient that lives up to its super status is chocolate.
It's really important to try to find a more pure source of chocolate and not go and buy your standard candy bar off the shelves, because those have a lot of other things that we don't want to consume.
Next time you visit the supermarket, you might want to see if these superfoods speak to you. For Lee Memorial Health System, I'm Amy Osher.
I don't mind those candy bars. Were you even listening to that story, Lindsay? Superfoods chocolate is in that group, but they said you have to have pure chocolate.
Well,
but, we can throw in some Hershey's every now and then. Well, going back to court, Michael Jackson's family suing nearly 4 years after the death of the King of Pop. First at 4, NBC2 goes in depth to uncover what is really at stake.
Plus, get a gun or else. That's the new message by town leaders in one community, and they're now forcing people who live there to arm themselves.
Sponsored by Nolte Wealth Management Group of Wells Fargo Advisors, helping residents of Lee County get to and through retirement for over 36 years.
You guys finished your bathroom remodel?
Yeah. Only took 3 weeks. Who did you use?
Rebath. I thought your remodel went great.
Oh, please. It was expensive and a complete disaster from the second the contractor showed up through the entire remodel. I bet your Rebath bathroom looks spectacular. I bet you even got a great warranty.
Actually, it's a lifetime warranty.
Next time, we're using Rebath.
Call Rebath today to receive $400 off.
Hi, I'm Dr. James Cole. At iHealth, we do things a little differently. Throughout the years, we've learned over and over again that by putting the needs and comfort of our patients first, and by creating a warm and friendly atmosphere in our office that, well, it just works. We treat you the old-fashioned way. We get to know you as a person and always put you first. That kind of service is rare these days, but we know it's important. If you have cataracts, glaucoma, diabetes, or just want to know that your eyes are as healthy as they seem, please consider us for your next eye exam.
iHealth, with 8 convenient locations. For new patients 59 and older, call iHealth for a free eye exam.
I'm Dr. James Cole. Come to iHealth and let us take great care of you.
Great news, Fort Myers. America's Best is now open.
They have the best prices on contacts and glasses.
Now you can get 2 pairs of glasses for $69.95 with a free eye exam.
You're gonna love it.
Get 2 pairs of glasses for $69.95 with a free eye exam every day and contacts for $9.95 a box during our grand opening sale. Call 1-800-2PAIR and schedule an appointment at your new America's Best today.
America's Best. The best prices in sight.
Every person deserves a healthy and beautiful smile. At Affordable Dentures, we'll treat you with dignity and respect, and we'll get your smile back at affordable prices in a single day in most cases. Whether you need new dentures, replacement dentures, a partial, or an extraction. Call 1-800-DENTURE or visit affordabledentures.com for valuable coupons. Please don't put this off. You deserve a healthy and beautiful smile.
Just for Men Auto Stop changed a lot for men with grey hair.
It just combs in. It stops at just the right color.
What else changed? Now the bulls, they run from us. Just for Men Auto Stop.
All new ahead at 5.
Hi everyone, I'm Peter Bush. The FGCU Eagles got a cold dose of reality. Head coach Andy Enfield bolted for a bigger school and a bigger paycheck. At 5, we find out what the school is doing to market itself and get the most out of its 15 minutes. Plus, persistence pays off for some Lee County business owners. A year ago, commissioners told them no. Well, today they got what they wanted. We'll explain at 5.
Now, count on NBC2 First Alert meteorologist Jason Dunning's forecast. The most accurate forecast in Southwest Florida.
Well, after starting out early this morning with lots of fog developing across Southwest Florida, the fog ended up lifting away by the mid to late morning and sunshine taking over. In fact, we're looking at the blue skies and sunshine out there right now from our HD camera in downtown Fort Myers on top of the Art of the Olympians facility, looking out toward the Caloosahatchee River and the Highway 41 bridge. There's North Fort Myers, and on our station there close to the river, we're looking at temperatures starting to settle back down to the upper 70s, but area-wide warming up to the middle to even upper 80s in some locations out there today. So the warmth continues to build across Southwest Florida. In fact, let's check in on some of our live weather stations from Lehigh Acres to LaBelle, over interior parts of Collier County, around Immokalee, we're right there around 84 degrees. And at one of our other locations there at Fort Myers, we're at 83. So temperatures getting a couple degrees warmer compared to what we saw yesterday. Another change we've noticed too is the winds backing off and relaxing a little bit. Yesterday we saw those wind gusts get up to around 25 miles per hour, but winds subsiding through the day today. But we're going to see them ramp up again as we head out through the next couple of days as the next storm system approaches Southwest Florida. We expect that to arrive late Thursday into Friday. We'll track that here in just a moment. First, tracking just a few patchy clouds out there on this Tuesday afternoon. A live sweep of the radar here at 4:45, scanning down across Collier County and out in the Gulf of Mexico, not picking up on any shower activity. So rain chances pretty scarce as we head through the rest of this evening. Let's take you through it here and break down your forecast. Through 6 o'clock, we'll see temperatures start to settle back down close to 80. Look for a mainly clear sky through the overnight hours. Temperatures by 8 around 74, and then dropping down to the low 70s by 10 o'clock. Our overnight temperature is expected to settle down to around the middle 60s, about where we started early this morning. And also look for the possibility again of some patchy fog developing, but it doesn't look like it'll be nearly as thick and widespread as what we saw this morning. But we could see some fog, especially over the interior and across the alley. So starting out tomorrow morning with temperatures in the mid 60s, it's a little bit above average for this time of year, and temperatures rising quickly as we head through the day tomorrow. Here's a look at 12 o'clock. During the midday hours, we'll start to warm to the low to middle 80s, all the way up to 86 in Everglades City, and it looks like tomorrow will be the warmest day of the week. Look at some of these forecast highs for Fort Myers and down the coast, Naples. Everglades City closing in on 90, so it'll be quite balmy out there tomorrow afternoon. We'll have the winds ramping up too, gusting up to around 20 miles per hour. Rain chances looking pretty low tomorrow, but we could see the sea breeze spark a few inland showers across interior Collier, Hendry, and Glades County. Looking dry through 12 o'clock, but as we advance through the afternoon, you can see a couple of specks of green starting to pop up here around Clewiston and close to the lake. But we're looking mainly dry here across the urban corridor and closer to the beaches. Dry, that is, until we head into Thursday, and then we're tracking a rain chance late that night into Friday. Up to 87 tomorrow, just a few isolated inland showers. And there you see it, back off to the northwest, the next storm system unfolding and pushing towards Southwest Florida. By the first part of Friday, could also see some thunderstorms with this, and a lot of the forecast models printing out close to an inch of rainfall with this next system, which will be very beneficial for the dry grounds and vegetation across southwest Florida. So windy Thursday on tap, storms roll in early Friday, and then the weekend looking sensational, a drop in humidity and a slight drop in temperatures.
All right, Jason, thank you. And now to your traffic alert. And the good news here, everything's looking great. US 41 I-75 FHP says nothing to worry about for our viewing area. Want to take you outside now. I know that Jason had mentioned the fog that's been a concern the past couple of days. This is along Alligator Alley. You're taking a look at around exit 80 or mile marker 80 I-75 here. And you see the east and westbound there looking really good. And we're going to continue to monitor the situation, of course, with the brush fire nearby on the alley and the fog in the morning for you, too. Keeping an eye on that. But right now, the alley is open and things are looking good. And that is your NBC2 Traffic Alert.
NBC2 Traffic is sponsored by Smart Companies, inviting you to discover the genius of energy-saving impact windows and smart home technologies. Smart Companies, the smart choice for your home.
Jury selection is underway in a wrongful death lawsuit against Michael Jackson's last concert promoter. Jackson's family accuses AEG Live of being responsible for hiring Dr. Conrad Murray. That's the physician convicted of manslaughter in Jackson's death. Miguel Marquez uncovers what's really at stake.
This is it, and see you in July.
This is it, meant to herald Michael Jackson's comeback. Like so many things in Jackson's life and death, it's become a supersized trial. Reports the Jackson family seeking from concert promoter AEG as much as $40 billion for the wrongful death of the 50-year-old king of pop. Reports the Jackson camp denies.
If the jury feels the family deserves $40 billion, that's what they're going to give. But I can tell you, no demand has been made by the Jackson family for $40 billion from AEG. That is just not true.
At the center of the trial, who hired Dr. Conrad Murray, found guilty in 2011 of involuntary manslaughter for injecting the insomniac pop star with a lethal dose of the anesthetic propofol.
What do you think, as his mother, caused his death?
I don't know. All I know is they used propofol, and they shouldn't have used it.
The plaintiffs, Jackson's mother, Catherine, and his 3 kids, blame AEG. Its lawyer says there was never a signed contract, and Murray, who was never paid anything, served only at the pleasure of Michael Jackson.
If you look at the drafts explicitly, is that he was chosen by Michael Jackson. He'd be there at Michael Jackson's behest. Michael Jackson was the only person who could get rid of him at will.
Possibly testifying Jackson's 16-year-old son, Prince Michael, and 14-year-old daughter, Paris. Also on the list, but not expected to testify, the artist Prince, who has his own history with AEG. Musician Quincy Jones could take the stand to testify how much Jackson could have earned if he had lived. Miguel Marquez, CNN, Hollywood.
A fiery crash backs up traffic for miles in Fort Lauderdale. Drivers grabbed their cell phones and hit record as they passed this wreck. A crash started when a motorcycle rider came off his bike. The bike flew off an overpass, slamming down on a Nissan below. The car burst into flames, but the driver was able to escape that inferno. Both the driver of the Nissan and the motorcycle rider were taken to the hospital and are expected to recover.
Listen to this. A small Georgia town is sending a strong message on gun control by requiring people who live there to own a gun. The ordinance in the city of Nelson, about 50 miles north of Atlanta, was approved by the city council last night. It requires people to own a gun. It's mainly for show, but anyone who objects can, without punishment.
They're going to think twice before they come into Nelson and cause harm or break in or commit a theft, any type of criminal activity. I know I would if I was a bad guy.
Convicted felons and those with certain mental and physical disabilities, of course, are exempt from the ordinance.
Rolling back prices at the pump.
Who doesn't want cheap gas? And Walmart plans to help bring them down even further. Here in Florida, we'll bring you what's fueling this plan.
This new segment sponsored by Joe Pavich Jr., a name you can trust and a leader in real estate.
Southwest Florida, it's Billy Fusillo, and as you can see, the chaos is over for a couple of days. Hey, guess what? All my employees are off from the 2nd to the 5th. They'll come back on the 6th, Saturday the 6th. We'll give a little vacation We expect to see you on the 6th. The inventory's coming in droves. It's going to be another great month in the month of April. Come see us on Saturday the 6th. We reopen. Our employees are home with their families for a couple days. I'll tell you something. Thanks for everything you did for us in March, because you made us, again, #1, which is huge.
Any store can tell you about saving. At Publix, we love to show you how to save more. Check out our weekly ad, full of savings. Buy one, get one free? How awesome is that? BOGO, BOGO, BOGO. Savings, 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 savings everywhere. Plus, we're really coupon friendly, so you know you'll be saving like a champ. Coupon here, here. It just takes a little planning. You love to shop here? You'll love to save here. Come on, let's go save some money. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
What's that racket?
Sounds like the air conditioner. Best man, save us! Best man?
Right now, get up to $2,500 off of a Carrier air conditioner.
Thank you, Best man! When you want the best, call Best Home Services.
Air conditioning, electrical, and plumbing.
Welcome to Buckingham Farms, where we grow locally and naturally. From our farm to your table, our produce is harvested daily for the freshest taste and longest shelf life. Buckingham Farms provides you with the freshest, most affordable, and socially and environmentally responsible vegetables and fruits. Just a stone's throw away from I-75, offering family-style service and a surplus of homemade food for you and your loved ones. Buckingham Farms, hometown freshness, locally grown in Southwest Florida.
Toy company Lego is denying that it bowed to pressure by a Muslim group as it pulled a Star Wars themed Lego set. This is a set in question here featuring Jabba the Hutt in a mosque-like structure. A Muslim group in Austria claims it depicts Muslims as terrorists. Now, the company claims it's stopping production of the building set next year, but says it has nothing to do with the complaints. As we get further into spring, gas prices continue to slide downward across Southwest Florida. New numbers, First at 4, show an average we're paying $3.67 a gallon. That's down a penny from yesterday, 20 cents cheaper, though, than this time last month. Now, to help with lagging sales, Walmart is now slashing their prices. Lindsay Janis shows us what's behind the plan.
Roll up to a Walmart pump and they'll roll back the price you pay to fill the tank. This morning, commuters in 21 states can save as much as 15 cents a gallon until July 7th, simply by filling up at the superstore and paying with a Walmart credit card.
Who doesn't want cheap gas?
Gasoline purchases account for roughly 4% of the average American's household budget. That's the largest chunk in 3 decades. And while prices may currently be high by historical standards, they're roughly 30 cents cheaper than they were this time last year. So why launch the program now?
Walmart sales have been flat for nearly 3 years, and Consumer Reports rated Walmart as one of the worst rated retailers in the U.S. So Walmart with lower prices is trying to get shoppers back.
Walmart has blamed January's tax increases for a tough start to this year's sales, but competitors like Costco are turning up the heat too.
Walmart views Costco as Walmart's worst nightmare, whether it's in North America or any other area of the world where the two go head-to-head.
So for Walmart, the idea is if rolling gas prices back gets customers rolling into its stores, everybody wins.
Hopefully it's good quality gas. Walmart's known to be affordable, mainstream, but then again, it's kind of cheap.
Lindsay Janis reporting Florida is among the 21 states that Walmart will sell reduced gases prices. Well, that will do it for us First at 4. Lindsay now with Peter Bush at the set for a preview of what they're coming up at 5.
Thank you, Heather. Head coach Andy Enfield leaving FGCU for a lot of cash. We have team coverage next at 5. We talk with the coach who led the Eagles to the Sweet 16. We're going to find out how the school's taking advantage of all that publicity.
And everyone who lives in Cape Coral may have to pay more taxes. We're going to break it down for you on the news at 5. It's next.
Count on Peter Bush, only on NBC2 News.
How much can Steiger Is Going Green get you? When Gwen got $1.3 million for her car wreck,
Who did she have to thank?
Steiger Is Going Green.
Who did Patricia call to get $121,000?
Steiger Is Going Green. Know who got Hattie $40,000? Got that right. Steiger Is Going Green.
Bet you know this one. Who got Robert $2 million?
Steiger Is Going Green. Yes!
Now, the big question.
How much can Steiger Isco and Green get you?
1-800-561-1111. Non-lawyer spokespersons.
This is no ordinary salad. This is a Florida berry and citrus salad. The mixing bowl proudly welcomes the arugula leaves. Lemon juice and olive oil drizzle down. Fresh strawberries, blueberries, and oranges tumble into place. Dashed with cheese and topped with candied pecans. Done. It's easy to turn local produce into something extraordinary. Look for Fresh from Florida products when you shop. Remember, delicious is always served fresh from Florida.
You are the standouts, the rebels, the trailblazers, the guys who grow facial hair and make life more interesting. Just for Men Mustache and Beard makes it easy to keep your edge. Comb in and it penetrates tough grays. In just 5 easy minutes, gray is gone. So you can keep the soul in your soul patch, the booyah in your beard. Grow on, you champions of facial hair. Thanks for keeping it interesting. Just for Men Mustache and Beard. Look like a champ.
Right now at 5, an eagle flies the coop.
It's one of the greatest places in the United States to go to school. It has an unbelievable college campus atmosphere. The athletic program is as good as it gets.
FGCU head coach Andy Enfield trading coasts, moving from the beautiful beaches of Southwest Florida to Southern California. We're live on campus with where the athletic department and the school goes from here.
Cape Coral's budget is off by millions, so the city manager wants to raise taxes, or says the city will hit a new low. Tonight, NBC2 is tracking your tax dollars.
And persistence pays off for a group of business owners in Lee County who took on county commission and came out on top. The news at 5 starts right now.
Live, the news you count on. NBC2 News at 5.
From Dunk City to Dumped City, FGCU coach Andy Enfield is heading west, signing a multi-million-dollar deal with the University of Southern California.
We knew bigger schools are going to come after him after the Eagles went to the Sweet 16, but the speed and timing of the deal raising some questions. We have team coverage tonight. We begin with NBC2 Sports Director Brian Colleran, who went in search of some of those answers. He's live outside Alico Arena tonight. Brian?
Peter, a simple read of Andy Enfield's original contract will point to the date April 1st. April 1st is the 3rd anniversary of Andy Enfield signing his contract here. It was the day 1 of year 3 of Andy Enfield's deal here at FGCU. It's when the buyout of his contract dropped to $100,000. Of course, April 1st was Monday. It's also the day that Andy Enfield agreed in principle to become the new head coach at Southern Cal. 4/5 of Enfield's former starting lineup on hand for the press conference by the athletic director Ken Cavanaugh and President Wilson Bradshaw this afternoon. Some of these players learned of Enfield leaving via Twitter last night. So 18 hours after the news broke, Enfield's first recruits here, Brett Comer and Bernard Thompson, visibly upset and in shock over their coach leaving.
And it was devastating to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I couldn't control my emotions to what happened. Still now it hurts. Oh, it hurts a lot because he's the reason why I came here. You know, like I said, he made me who I am today as a player. He's somebody I looked up to.
It was shocking. It was a slap in the face a little bit, I say. I didn't expect it to happen so soon. But I respect his decision on what he's doing, and I wish him the best of luck with everything.
You could see Brett Comer visibly upset, and Bernard Thompson, remember, he was a high school teammate, and he's best friends with Kevin Ware of Louisville. So Bernard's mind is not only on what's going on here at FGCU, but with his best friend back in Louisville. One positive note to come out of this afternoon, junior starting forward Chase Fielder recommitted